Testing, testing. There we go. All right. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought, and welcome back to a long overdue Sunday night art stream. There was some weird audio thing that just happened. All my audio dropped. I think my headset got a little wiggled, and everything just was like, no, no, don't work. Anyway, yeah, we are back. I am back. It's been quite some time since it has been quite some time since I have streamed anything. I haven't been drawing online for a while. The intern hasn't been playing video games. This channel's been pretty quiet for a while. But I have been active. I have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I've been doing a lot of artwork. So let's just go right into it. Let me show you what I've been doing. So, I'm currently working on a tabletop game. It is not my game. I'm helping with the artwork for the game. So I'm drawing some maps. There was a lot of revisions that had to be done over the past month, and then I fell off of it for a while. I wasn't able to like just work on it. So now I'm doing a rush job to finish the job based on the revisions of the first thing I did. Anyway, this is a general look of how the maps are going to be. There is a grid you can see on this, a nice grid system. That grid system is just in the program. That's the little grid layout that you can use in Clip Studio. I need to actually draw those grids, but those are the grids I'm using to lay out the map. It's a kind of sci-fi horror action genre. Imagine like sci-fi spaceship crashes on a hellscape, so it's like a little bit of Doom inspired, not Doom with an M. So lots of gore and violence intertwined with horror and sci-fi kind of mix, barbaric sci-fi, I guess you could call it. The map layout you see here is the hopefully final design of this map. Interior walls match the square gridding. Exterior walls are thinner. I had to do that because I had the walls too thin originally, so to make space I had to like move things around. So this is technically the second map. There is, if I zoom in, there is an elevator, which is number 16. There is a spiral staircase, and there is another elevator, a freight elevator named number 22 right there. And what I have to do now is take the map after this one deck below, which was this original drawing, and redo it to match the physical layout of the one you just saw. So if I switch back and forth, you can see. Hold on. So here's where everything is right now. Let me see. As I switch back and forth, it's kind of busy work. You might have trouble seeing it actually. But essentially, what I need to do is realign everything, or rather restructure the walls. But also that causes me to realign everything. So I got to make sure the elevators, as close as possible. I want the elevators and staircases to match. So. That's what we're doing today. It is tedious work. I'm doing tedious work right now, but it is needed work. So let me dim that. Let me change the opacity on that. Let me open this. There we go. So we're gonna fix a few things. So this is where the elevator is now. E is the elevator, E for elevator. That's the elevator right now on map number 2, technically. Let me change that. Ooh, that's not what I want to do. technically I want to move the elevator over here. So I just want to fix where it should be. That way when I start moving stuff around, I know what I'm doing. So that's the new spot for the elevator. Now where did I move? Let me zoom out. The ghost background is essentially... There it is. The ghost background is the finalized map one level above. And we're trying to fix this now. So I'm just relaying everything out. Oh. That way I could hopefully have it all make sense. I could fiddle around how that works. Let me see. And the freight elevator has been moved as well. Yeah, essentially I had to redo the inner walls to better match like I said, to better match the grid format we have. Now that everything was in a certain size, now that everything was on a certain size square grid. Please select that. Now you can see the ghost bursting out the floor that's faded in the background is technically still in the same room as where these ghosts are right here. So I'm kind of okay with that. So I'm just going to do a little circle here. That way I know that they're still kind of lined up, even though the portal, the hole in which they're bursting out is off by a pinch. I'm okay with that. So we have to realign everything to incorporate the new layout for the elevators, the new layout for the spiral staircase, and we're hoping to add a staircase. More or less, let me see. Check my notes from the editor I'm working with, the guy who actually made this storyline, who wrote this campaign. Let me see. Add stairs next to 41 and 32, which is right around here, which isn't bad, because that's, yeah. So here's an open, I'm pointing with my finger. There's an open space right here from the first floor, which is right between the main deck, that's a big TV screen and those 3 chairs, and a secondary deck, which is the like this one chair that's looking down these computer channels, these computer tables. So we could put it somewhere, let's say somewhere within here. Yeah. And the good news is this black space you see, these black spaces with creepy creatures and goo and monsters, those are negative spaces that had nothing was in them. So that gives me a leeway to get rid of some stuff. So theoretically, let's say theoretically, if I was to move one hallway off to the side, if I was to move 32 off to the side, so 32, 33, 34, all off to the side, I could then probably put a staircase, theoretically, more or less right here. But it all comes down to how much space I have. That's our working idea for a staircase. Somewhere within this area. This square is our good area. So first thing we're gonna do is move everything into certain grids. I've been instructed to make hallways because this map goes from room to room to room. I didn't really put in between hallways for the players to walk between to get a little reprieve from room to room. So I'm gonna go ahead and start moving stuff, making walls, and hopefully I have enough room to do what needs to be done. Let's jump into it. Lock that. Let me see. So that's the wall layer we're gonna be filling with. These are the doors. That's all the ink. I'm gonna lock the ink layer. I don't want to mess with that. These are the gaps. I'm gonna lock the gap layer. These are the numbers. I'm gonna lock the number layer for now. Lettering for our why are those two not combined? 1 second. There we go. That's our text layer. So what is not locked right now are the doors and the walls. So I've been learning in this to use difference between like raster layers and non-raster layers. So that's all new to me. But anyway, let's grab a few walls. I'm gonna move all this as far off to the side to give me as much room to fiddle with. So that's what we're doing, guys. So the exterior walls are like 1/3 of each square. So we're gonna try to use that to our advantage, just how much space it gives us. Okay, so for this I might need to unlock my ink layer because I gotta move some stuff out the way to get the engine room, to put the elevator in the engine room. Why did you move? That's not there. Don't know why that moved. So I'm okay with the elevator going into the engine room. That I'm okay with. So, engine room is number 16. Put that up there. There we go. So he wants space between. He wants a connection between 16 and 15. Put a hallway between that. We could definitely do that. So 16 and 15 have a hallway. That's in 15. Sorry, 16. I'm thinking 16. 26 to 25 need a hallway between the two of them. 25 can be smaller, which also gives me thank goodness, it gives me room to add stuff. So that could be smaller. Shrink the art in 27, which is good. It gives me more room. And at a hallway from 26 to 27. Perfect. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. These like little cryo beds of some type. Oh no, these are med beds. Sorry, med beds. So that's more to scale. Let me zoom out. Alright, so how are we doing this? Let's just start the elevator. Because I had it where the elevator went... I had the elevator go directly into the engine room and then into a hallway between 25 and 27. Which the hallway is good. So I'm going to try and keep that. Nope, that's the wrong tool. That's the right tool. I'm using Snap to grid. It's helping me draw all these nice clean lines. Then I'm doing this. Oh, that's the wrong tool. So this allows me to just do like instant line detail between everything. Instant grid lines. E for elevator. One thing I need to double check. I gave the regular elevator, like this number 16 here, a single square for opening. Same thing with the freight elevator. Okay. I'm trying to remember how big was the opening for these guys. terms of 40, number 40, he said give 40 its own space. Oh, I need to put a wall. Okay. Which is where the elevator symbol is right now. 40 needs its own room. Okay, so I gotta move stuff around. Bum, 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 bum. I'm basically trying to reimagine the map, which is a pain in the butt. Let me get rid of the doors for now. Did he say shrink 27? Add hall from 26 to 27. Gotta add a hall in between them. Shrink the art in 27. I gotta add a hallway between the two of them. So where's because I did it wall to wall. So how do I add a hallway? Hmm, 27 is gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna have to Our director, our editor wanted the engine room to consume most of the top area. So now I'm trying to squeeze the elevator into the engine room. I got plenty of room. I can move 29 to the side. Yeah, I might need to just like move everything outward to give me room to put hallways in the center. That kind of seems like the best bet. I hate that the selection tool doesn't work on this particular type of layer. Just gotta grab everything. The dad on this is not using it right. You zoom in, make sure I have everything I need. So we're gonna move all of this off to the very like over here. Right? And then I'm gonna move everything in the ink layer. Undo that. Almost everything. Hey, Red! It's been a while. It's good to see you, man. Nope. Come on. 29. 28. Just moving all that junk to the side. All of it to the side. Yeah, I could. Well, I've been wanting to stream for a bit. I've been wanting to stream for a while. I just had my mind in too many places. Plus, I need to finish this. So I figured kill two birds with one stone. So this kind of this forces me to just sit down and do it. So I am rearranging a map I've done, but I have to completely rescale all the walls and therefore also redo hallways and tunnels in this. It's really meticulous. The annoying part. This is not the creative part. This is the annoying part. Where I gotta redesign all the walls and stuff for a tabletop game I'm working on with our good friend Ray. For those of you who don't know, Ray has gone by several names on Instagram. Ray of Destruction. No, Ray of Disintegration was one of his names for a while. But I'm working with my associate Ray, who's doing the internal artwork. I think like he's putting a lot of weight with the character artwork, which he's great at. Along with a nice individual over in Spain, a friend of his. So the individual in Spain, I guess for now I'm calling him our director. He has written this tabletop campaign. Ray is doing the creature illustrations, and they brought me on for the maps. But there wasn't much direction at first, so I kind of just started drawing maps based on what they gave me. And then I started getting different directions. So I'm trying to like basically just to quote a teacher from college, when you take a contract for as an artist, you should A, tell them how many sketches you will do for the first batch. Give them how many edits they could do before you move to a cleanup sketch. Give them how many edits you could do after the cleanup sketch, and then end it there. If you don't tell your client how many edits they are allowed to do through the process, you will be editing and changing it all the way through. And that's something I didn't really realize with this particular project, because they never told me how meticulous they wanted the maps to look. But yeah. So right now I'm just trying to, like I said, realign everything. Excuse me. So I was able to shrink the art in room 27, which is where the red box is at right now, but that's not meant to be a room. That red box, once again, is where I'm going to move our staircase. So we move this, we put this right here. That way I know, like, this is 27. And that's our staircase. There we go, our open staircase. So the staircase is in the right spot now. Now the way I had the staircase, it opened up downward to this arrow, which is going to be erased, and then opened up sideways to 29 and 28. So I kind of want to keep that. Let's keep that. Let's keep that opening that way. Look away, my friend. Look away. Let's do some. Let me get some walls in here. So the staircase opens up this way and lets you go into certain locations. So, question is, how am I going to do the new box, the new physical layout for 26 to 27? Yeah. I think. Move a bunch of artwork out the way. Okay. So that's the issue. If I overthink it, it doesn't get done. So I'm just gonna go right into it. I'm gonna put opposite. We're gonna go ahead and do opposite entryways from the elevator into the engine room. And the elevator wall is gonna also be the wall. Yeah. Okay. We know what we're doing now. We got this, people. We got this. You got the first map for kind of like size reference, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like this. So let me move these walls over a pinch. So there's still a wall, but there's a hallway that leads in between the two of them. Hey man, how's it going? I dude, couldn't have done it without you, man. I was just about to ask you how you felt about it. So, for those of you who might be wondering what the hell I just talked about, Clitoris Rex helped me with a short video, a kind of promo for an idea. Okay, we had, you have these great ideas and you do the creative part of it, but you don't want to do the mundane part of it. You don't want to have to do the video editing and the actual filming half the time. You like making the props, but you don't want to have to film it and edit it. So Rex helped me get the filming done for a promo, a kind of promo, for an idea we had. And it's basically, sorry, give me a second. I'm on the door layer. Rex basically helped me get a video going for basically a shopping channel, a monstrous shopping channel. That's kind of the concept behind it. And it's so we have Dr. Malicious, an undead mad scientist who wants to, do what any mad scientist does and do mad scientist things. But he is strapped for cash. So, to do so, he is right now reaching out to the general public, and essentially he's like, hey, I will sell you all my oddities, all of my strange and cursed objects from around the world. And if, hold on, why are there two layers? What are two lines here? Get it. So he's selling all of his cursed objects in hopes of funding, uh, essentially funding his mad scientist schemes. So we did it. We got the promo up for that, which is very fun. I like that, man. That's good. I like that. My older sister really enjoyed it. She was like just leaving tons of praise and comments. It's kind of, you know how it is. It's like you love the fact that your family supports you, but it's also kind of like, I'm kind of embarrassed. It's one of those kind of weird things. It's the aw shucks moment that we all kind of have. Let's see. Yeah, okay. File save as I go. So, the mindset I have right now, I'm kind of working from the top down. We got the large engine room. You have the elevator, which goes into the engine room and then comes down, which I'm going to keep this kind of hallway. Now, the med bay and the engine room are sharing a wall, but there is a hallway separating the two. It's a two-block hallway. I'm going to have the staircase cut to the right to lead to 29 and 28. I think 29 and 28 are going to be sandwiched next to each other, but they will have two different doorways. So you could go into 28 and then walk directly to 29, or 29 and then directly to 28. And then I'll have an open, the staircase is open into the med bay. The staircase goes up, you're right in the med bay. But it's around the corner, so you get the little dodge area. See that? And yeah, so I'm basically just spreading outward, spreading the thin, narrow outer walls outward to give me thicker inner walls. I'm happy. My sister felt the same way. I found some old sound effects I had to throw in there. It was worth it, man. Like it was a pain in the butt. Literally, like my butt was hurting me sitting down in a weird area, but it was worth it. What is going on? Using the wrong tool. That's what. Just grabbing all the walls to move them out the way a bit. Excuse me. So let's say keep right about there. So 29. Oh, sorry, was it 29? 29, 28. They're meant to be kind of side by side because one is like a shop for like a video game kind of room where the demons all hang out and like, because it's once again it's like cyberpunky demons. It's kind of hard to describe. Video, is it a video drone or whatever? Yeah, and look at that. Got plenty of room. In fact, does the artwork fit? If the artwork still fits, that means even though I've moved things around, the proportions are more or less the same, so I can always adjust it. Yeah, look at that. The proportions are good. Oh, in fact, I could move this up. There we go. Yeah. Stick to the sides as much as possible. I'm gonna have to add a lot of walls in between in that chamber of screaming souls. I have to add walls around that. So I'm gonna have to. I'll make sure I give myself enough room outward and just give hallways around that. Alright. We're looking good. There's a thin hallway. We're gonna put doors there to separate the engine room from the bottom half. I could shrink this room down. Oh, nope. They mean to move the whole thing. Come on. Let's grab these guys. You and you. Oh, that reminds me. I need to bring you over here. Three. There we go. Right across. And then down. Like that. Yes, you turn. Yes, I don't know if you heard the conversation between me and Rex. We were just talking about how, you know, we I don't know if you were on Instagram recently, but I was able to get some video done thanks to Rex. We put the promo up for our Mad Scientist shopping channel. There's no name for the actual like show yet, just the character himself. That's Dr. Malicious, and the idea. I mean, everything sounds simple at first, but the idea is to keep it simple, with just these little shorts of him pitching and hawking junk and horrific junk to fund his research. Thanks, man. I didn't tell you, doing his voice though freaking killed me, man. After you left, Rex, after you left, like I realized, oh man, everything kind of hurts now. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna shrink it. I'm gonna shrink 25 this way. I was told I could shrink it, so I want to make sure I could utilize as much room as possible on this map. It's a bit much. Let's bring it back down to like there. Okay, so (26) to 25. We are. That's the hallway right there. We'll put a door right there. Shrink artwork in 27. That's good. 25 can be smaller. That's nice. Add hallway from 26 to 27, and we've done that. So those are the hallways for all of that. Now, 36. All the walls around it are going to have to be bigger to match the grid and to have room for a hallway. So everything's going to be pushed outward, and we have space for it, which is good. 36 for 36, yeah. Let me rename this layer so I can see it better when I look at it. Actually, grab this first. Let's flip that. That's better. Okay, that. Grab this. Let's have the hanging wires here. And then we could put this corner table literally over here in this corner. Deselect. There we go. That all looks pretty good too. Okay. Let's continue shifting things away from the center. I haven't worked on it that much lately. I've just been busy with like finishing my convention. Long Island Retro went very well. It didn't feel like it at the time, but in the end, I actually made a pretty good amount. I made more at Long Island Tabletop than I did at Brooklyn Comic Con. But because the Long Island Tabletop is more expensive and a little bit of travel money had to go into it, the profit was different. So I've been focusing on that. I've been focusing on and off with this. So I haven't worked on One Armed Bandit in a while. But once again, I want to return to it. Oh yeah, it's okay. I see it. That's cool. I think it's called the Soul Chamber. It's basically this giant hole in the ship that's blasting like energy through the ship outward. But yeah, so I haven't worked on the video game stuff. I haven't worked on the video game stuff lately. I've just been kind of fiddling with this, fiddling with a few other things. And then once again, we'll get back on track. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. Yeah, if I move 39 off to the side, because that's already a hallway going from the elevator down the side of 39. Then I could do another. Then I have to do another. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine the hallway around 36, around the pinball area. Hallway all the way around. Yeah, just push it out, push it out, push it out. Architecture. What the hell is architecture? Let's start by moving the artwork. This is the jail cells. So let's start by moving this artwork out. Give us an idea of how much space we need if I back up. I know those are the two things. Trying to get back into fighting games and maintaining friendships. But you gotta be careful. Don't mix them up. trying to maintain my friendship with video games and fighting my old friends. Let's try this. Deselect. Deselect. Anything interesting been happening with you? I mean, anything, man. Like, any events you've been thinking of going to, stuff you've been checking out. Some of these lines out the way for now. I'll need these. Just out the way. You know, whenever when I go and check out streams, I make it a habit to look for people who don't have many people viewing them at the moment, and sometimes that's because the stream had just started. But I look for streamers, mainly art streamers, who just don't have a lot of views at the moment, and you know, just to give them those numbers. And it's usually like, you know, I'll usually find, once again, people who just started streaming at the moment, or people who literally have like, you know, 75 viewers or whatever, like followers. And I'll just do that just for the heck of it. That's cool. In fact, I was just, it's just kind of funny because I was just having a conversation with Joe the other day, and I was like, I could never get like fountain pens to like work for me, to work with me. I never got into fountain pens because of that. Like the whole I mean, I'm not talking about the ones you fill up, like the actual ones you would dip and use, like for calligraphy. I just could never get them to work. But I guess the ones you fill up also have a similar like nib. It was just something that just never worked for me. So this works. It gives me room for the elevator and the extended hallways. I'm gonna move 40 off to the side. Yeah, I'll move 40 over to the side. Just make a box for him. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna make an entirely new box just for number 40. 40 is like a maintenance area, which is why there's a little workbench right here. That's what 40 was originally. Are you like skating down subway tracks, or is it just called train as in like a moving pretty much? Like what's the environment? Because Jet Set Radio was like citywide, up and down and stuff. You know, side of buildings, skate parks, or is this more like you're grungy in the sewers and the railroad tunnels or something? Just is Japan? I mean, everyone talks about the bullet trains in Japan. Is Japan known for its underground railroad as well, as big as New York is? Because New York almost, Manhattan is all like underground stuff. I wonder if Japan is like, it has like that, has a certain level of that or not. You know, before I do anything else, let me do the box for this elevator. And then once I have the box, I can figure out the entry areas I want to open up to. Let me get... Once I figure out the structures that have to be here, I can then move around everything else around them. Excuse me. Oh, that's cool. I forget, did you... I mean, I'm sure you've played Dragon Quest before. I just wasn't sure if, like, I'm sure you've played Dragon Quest before, but I'm not sure if, like, how many of them you've beaten, how far you've gone in them. So I have one doorway going up into the main hallway. Should I have a second? Because the other elevator goes in two different directions. This elevator has one entryway. Yeah, you know what? I'll do a bottom one. A bottom opening. Let me before it drives me nuts because it's kind of in the way. Let me grab this workbench right here and move it into the section for 40. Let me also select that. Have that. There's our elevator. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Like I said, like, here in this house, we have not been doing any kind of streaming. So once again, like, the intern hasn't had time to game because he's been helping me out with conventions. You know, the intern helps me man the table at conventions. So I just need to get back on track with all this stuff. And it's not like, oh, I'm trying to build up numbers. I'm trying to, blah blah blah. It's like, no, I just want to get back on track. That way, it keeps me honest, as I say. Like, knowing that I'm sitting down doing the stream is like, it helps the art process go faster because it's numbing just sitting down at the screen, moving lines around like I'm doing right now, you know? Having the elevator here might really help because it might force me. Yeah, it's gonna force me to shift the soul tower over. And if you can tell by the red drawing I've done, if I shift all the artwork over, it will line up perfectly with the first map. That's a good thing. So I could just shift everything over, and there's plenty of space on the side to just move more things over. Rex did a stream over on Instagram, and I was really happy to see that. I try to leave politics and religion out of my general streams and social media because that can spiral into like nonsense at times. But I have to say one thing regarding recent events that can be considered political. Did you see Spider-Man decking Jake Lang? It's all over the internet. Just that jackass Jake Lang, or whatever his name is, just getting decked by Spider-Man. So fun. So fun. let me grab all of this. I'm gonna scoot over all of 35, 31, just scoot it out the way for now. Over to the side. I keep forgetting to add more stuff to this playlist. It's nice stuff, but it circles really quickly. The whole time I couldn't help but think of like Jonah Jameson screaming, "Get me pictures of Spider-Man!" No, not those pictures. They're too good. They're too good. There's like these. There's some great like still images. There's one photograph from like directly the angle behind the car. So it's just him. It's just Spider-Man like looking like almost towards the camera as he's just punching the shit out of this guy. Oh, what a freaking. The guy's such a tool. The last time he pulled a stunt, he had to climb up into a building to like escape the mob. And it was a man of color who helped him like not get sucked into the mob, and he's still like he doesn't learn from that. The man is filled with so much hate, like he doesn't learn like, hey, you know, a black guy saved your life the last time you did this. I don't know, man. He's a grifter. He's a hateful grifter. And regretfully, like, he's the Cartman of the world. We live in a time of Cartmans. And South Park itself has brought that up. Cartman is no longer important because everyone's a Cartman now. That's literally what South Park said. There we go. Now shifting all of that now gives us space for this little L shape here, which is more or less going to be a staircase. So that's going to be our new staircase right there. So before I do 40, I need to define. I need to do a different. I need to define the walls around. What is 26 right now? 26, 36. So define the walls around 26, then give it space for a hallway around 26. I keep saying 26, 36. And then from there I could decide how to do 40 next to the elevator. I want the elevator to base. I want both elevators to be on either side of this long hallway. I could probably put a door in between anyway. $41. What's 41? 41 needs a hallway as well, leading into it. I wrote a note, but I can't tell what it is now. I think we're saying keep one door. I think it's meant to say keep one door. Speaking of which, so this staircase, doesn't matter. This staircase shouldn't be there. We can get rid of that staircase. We don't need it. I don't want it confusing me. Excuse me. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Put that right there. This, oh, nope. That. So I'm probably going to shift it a little up into the right. I think is the best bet for this to give us space away from the elevator as well. Nope, needs more room. Definitely up. Let me get rid of some of this nonsense. I don't need any of these dinner individual ones right now. Not right now. Put you over there. Taking all of these walls and I'm going to shift them up. See, Daisy. Let's say right about there. Have to highlight them again. Bam, bam. grab this guy, get him out the way too. Ba-ba, da, 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 da. Move that, move that, move that. Yes. Okay. Take away the ink for a minute. Move you. Move you. This needs to be lined up. Like that. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Alright. Okay. Move. There we go. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Let me grab the stuff associated with this particular room and move it. Oh, I might have to move it up actually, because some of the stuff is like right about there. You know, now he's a bit higher than I expected, but we could fix that. Okay, I did give the elevator. Put it right here. That seems better. Okay. Deselect. So let's go back to the wall and adjust one thing. That's better. Now we have this whole little freaking cluster right here. And to be honest, can go. This whole little cluster right here can go. So I'm just gonna delete a bunch of these individual lines which are not being used or utilized. But I am gonna just grab all of these because these come in handy. Just move them down there for now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tunnel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Puts it right there. Kind of want to do it even to get some space in there. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 1 too much. There we go. Now it's lined up. Obviously, these songs have like a certain vibe to them. So like this song with that little, where the cowbell comes in or whatever that is, I feel like I feel like I'm gonna start hearing "We're Not Gonna Take." This is working. Just for the heck of it, I'm gonna move these over here to give me a. So, if a three box hallway on one side, we could do a 2-box hallway on the other if we wanted to. We'll figure. I don't know if I need to make it symmetrical, to be honest. I don't really have to. Got a bunch of these stupid. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. You know what? Let me get rid of a few things. It's too much clutter. Let's make the top a. That's a 3-door entry. I don't like that 3-door entry. Let's make it a bit uneven. Make it a 2-door entry. Like, off center it. So essentially, for all the doorways, it's either 1 box or 2 boxes. That's kind of how. That's what I was advised to do, more or less. It's like, you know, on the average hallways of 1 to 2 boxes. Given the grid we're using right now. You know, any bigger hallways than that, you're talking like grand hallways, which is kind of weird looking. So. The med bay, which is what is 27, it's gonna have a door on the bottom left, which you can see that little gap right there. A 2-door opening on the bottom right, which gives a hallway that gives at least a little space from 26, which is the engine room. You know what? No, let's do one. Let's do this. Yeah, because then I could grab this, move it over. So the staircase opens up. This spiral staircase, the L, opens directly into the hallway on the side, which will have a door for 29 and a door for 28. But it's an open hallway, but there's still a door right above it for 27, and a 2-door beneath that for 27 as well. 27 entryways. These seem to be working. need that. Nice. Okay, okay. It's making our way downward. Grab these guys, figure out what to do with them. Let me shift the artwork at least for this area. Come on. That's not the right layer. I keep clicking that layer like a moron. It's not the right layer. Okay. This little creature, which I'm super happy. No! Christ. Do not crap that. Do not crop that. I'm super happy with this like little possessed vending machine looking dude. Okay. Ooh. I like putting in little details. And that was the real issue. I was like, I kept asking, like, how exact is this map? Because you look at maps, and, look at ocean maps, right? Sometimes they'll put like a little dragon in the corner. So I like putting little details in there that aren't necessarily in the map. Like, there's not necessarily a security camera there, but it's just fun to take up that space there. The idea is that things are warping in this room, so the machines are like becoming eldritch horror, if that makes sense. They're like living machines now. So the soul room isn't exactly lined up perfectly, but it's in that area, which I'm fine with. Alright, we're doing good. We're getting there. Oh, speaking of which. 26? 36! The soul room. Who's pinging me? Someone's pinging me. Nothing. Now we have this whole area down here, which is like a gladiatorial area. So this whole thing is going to be shifted off to the side. That's going to be shifted off to the side, just to give me enough room to put walls around 41. And then we got to figure out the kind of mess that is the 30s over here. That, share that, yeah. They'll share this wall right here. I always get nervous when my computer lags ever so slightly, like it's gonna crash. I'm like, no! It shouldn't crash. It does pretty good so far. It's still alive. I'm not sure if I want to do an opening between 40 and 37. We'll figure that out. Okay. We might not finish every detail, like all the individual like grids, but I think if I push it, we could get all the basic layout good to go. No, one door you said, right? Keep one door, so let's undo that. Make it a bit more dynamic. It also opens up the hallways a bit more. How am I doing this? Oh, that's why. I'm like, why is it off? Because this goes here. The grid is off. It's in the wrong spot. Gotta pull all this down. There we go. Yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm looking at it like something's not right here, and I couldn't figure out what it was. right there's a staircase, so this should work. If I bring this down, yeah, 2 on that side, 2 on this side. Perfecto. And this comes over here. And this comes over there. We're outside the red box, which gives us our staircase. I know it's not riveting stuff, but this is what this is. This is what goes into the final product. You gotta push through it, man. You gotta push through it. And once it's done, you look at it and you go, that looks pretty good. Like, you know, you've achieved it. So, you know, you know, if you, as every artist with too many ideas knows how it feels. You're working on one project and then you look over your shoulder and you're like, I have an idea for another project. But when you gotta lock in, it's a bit different. But you do need palette cleansers once in a while. With that being said, to kind of help not go crazy, this past week I did at one point return to the mini zines, those little mini comics I was like thinking of like working on. For those of you who don't remember, I had an idea for a bit of a gimmick. It was a bit of a gimmick, I'll admit. And it was a mini zine, which is when you take it's been around since the 70s. You take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You cut a little, it's called a hot dog cut, partway through the middle. And you fold it up, and you have an 8-page comic that can then be opened up. And on the back side, you can put a giant poster on it. So it's like, you know, so you have a little book. It's an 8-page comic, and you can unfold it, and it's a poster on the back. So I had this idea of making like 4 of those, sticking it into a box about yay big, which is roughly the size of a tarot card box, and then, you know, 4 comics in one box, which doubles also as 4 posters. Oh, there it is, in fact. And I was thinking of like making like little anthology series in which each individual box was 4 comics, 1 complete story of an anthology series. And so I did the first comic, finished it, and I finished the second comic. And when you're dealing with small comics and you finish it, technically you finish it, it just feels a lot better because you're giving yourself smaller goals. Small 8-page comic, you're forced to condense it, you're forced to really just hunker in on just the little things. What I did, I lay out all the text and then did the artwork around the text. So sometimes it'll just be like a little blurb of like the narrator saying, oh no, look out, he's on your left. And it'll be a picture of the guy screaming, and that's it. You have to draw an entire picture. But doing that allows you to reach a, not to sound dirty, but you reach completion much faster. And it just feels good to be like, hey, I finished a comic. And this is an 8-page comic. So I went back and I did the second one, and I have the third one sketched out, and so on and so forth. It was kind of fun to return to that. Alright, so we have our space, which is going to be our staircase, pretty much, which is great. In fact, I'm going to just put some walls up. Doesn't have to take up this entire spot, so I'm going to shrink it down to just this. this staircase lets out on this side. Yeah. Keep hitting that button by accident. That's it. That'll be our staircase. Just a big open area that lets out on one side. Let's give all of this a bit more space. We'll go upward. Yeah, we'll go upward on this guy. The green dots, essentially there's like two cults that are fighting for position inside this giant derelict spaceship. It's a huge, basically imagine if the Enterprise, if you're a Star Trek fan, if the Enterprise was taken over, and in the disc portion, the saucer portion they call it, I think, all the Klingons, so that's all, it's been turned into like a battle arena. And then in the lower deck area is all of the Vulcans. So one section's all fighting and one section's all like meditation, kind of like that. That's why I have so if essentially the video game area, the holodeck area, the bar and the little open bar area, this all in green. Those like the pleasure cult. While the other side, which is like the blue area, is like the just people ripping people apart. The prison is people fighting. The burnt out engine room is another cult. They're the ones who are like obsessed with technology, so they've taken over the that part. It's not my story. It's a very good story. It's not mine though. Come on, move, dude. holodeck area with the little demon woman and the little hologram. She's her own room right there. Let's move this also out to here. That way, we can give 30 its own space. Come on, drag. Thank you. Now, if I remember correctly, I remember if 30 had his own, if number 30 had his own door or not. Yeah, I'm not sure if 30 like had his own door or you walked into 30 and then 31 had a door. I can't remember. It's one of the two. Come on, move. There we go. Like I'm clicking it and it's not moving. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do a connection from 37 to 40 because they're both like maintenance areas, so I might as well like define them as two different areas. Because you get that way you could get. It's like if you go off the elevator, you could go directly into the engine room, or come down, and it's just a long hallway from E, going all the way down to the other elevators. Like one elevator one side, one elevator the other. But you have like another way to get into the engine room, into 25, 39, go in, 37. We'll put a doorway this way, as well as the 29 will have two doorways, one this way, one that way. So there's one continuous hallway from one elevator to the other, but it goes around. Oh no, I need to fix that. Because that should not be blocked off. Shoot. how to do this. Need to have a hallway. I also want to block. I don't. You know what? I think we'll have to block it off. Yeah. So it has, from the staircase, you go around the staircase, leads into the med bay, and the med bay also goes up to engineering. Does it make sense? Probably not. We want a continuous, like a donut, a continuous hall around the center chamber. The center chamber will have two doorways. We want a hallway around it. Tuck these once again over to the side as much as possible. That way I can then grab the artwork and move the artwork as well. There. I can adjust the spacing. Or I could just move the damn thing down. Yeah. This could be room for more walls and hopefully find a nice spot for freaking Dirty to sit in. Let's imagine that's okay, so that is the divider between 30 and 31. No, that's a bit silly. No. Keep hitting the wrong tool. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, okay. That's... Yeah, yeah, that's what Dilly was. Okay. Let me zoom in a bit. Let's bring this down. Put that there. Oh, that's off. That's why I can't get this to work. 'Cause this goes down this side, this goes on this side. There's the 1/3 line. And the door is gonna be at an angle here. Once again, all these songs are downloaded from the YouTube audio library. They are automatically copyright free because I got tired of finding playlists on YouTube only for them to be flagged by either YouTube or by Twitch. Okay. That's good. So I'm just gonna realign this room. That. Oh, nope. Don't you do that now. Thinking it out. I have to also remember this is going to be printed. So I need to make sure that I leave, you gotta leave space on the side for the printing. 1/4 inch. Right now resizing the bathroom. Undo that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let me back up for a minute. Don't need that. Don't need that. Alright. Now we go back into the ink layer. First, that's the bar. These are some chairs just kind of chilling out. Down here are the restrooms. Resizing work. Do a slight. Okay, that. This is a unique one because it's like a balcony that looks over. Actually gave it more room than it had originally. So I'm gonna do also. So maybe I could rotate it. Yeah. This actually, yeah. If I rotate it, I could redo. I'll show you. I'll show you guys. So the very edge of the arrow right here. Let me lock that first. So that gives me a chance to bring this down. So instead of bringing it over here. So I'm going to move that bathroom entryway a pinch back. Let's bring this down because you have to get into 33, and then the balcony takes you up. So if I do this, there's 34, and then I can hint a wall right here. And there I put a door that goes to 33 and a staircase that goes up. Yeah. Holy crap, did we do it, people? Did I manage to like resize this whole thing correctly? My neck hurts. Let me do some deletion here. Nope, delete, delete, delete. I mean, obviously we're going to go back at some point and do little minor tweak details, make sure lines line up well. Oh. Let me get this guy in order. Zoom in a little bit. Thank you. To be anal retentive, just to actually put an opening right there within the lines. Oh, keep doing that. There we go. Okay. And it gives room in case the director, the producer, the man who wrote the campaign wants me to add even more space to the engine room. Now I just gotta, now I just gotta, ooh, no. Now I just gotta add, you know, rearrange the doors and everything. But that's, yeah. Let's go down the list. Let's go down the list. With my little syringe pen. So, 26 has a hallway that goes to 25. Goes all the way down. And that hallway has 2 doors that go outward. I shrank the art in 27, which made it good, which allowed us to also shrink the room itself. Added a hall from 26 to 27, so there is going to be a hallway there that separates that. 36 is surrounded by a complete open hallway, and there's going to be doors on the side separating that from everything else. 40 has its own room right now with connections to 37 and a long hallway as well. 41 needs a hallway. Oh no. Well, 41 has a hallway. It's the elevator and the staircase. That whole open area is a hallway into 41. That technically counts. And the bottom little L on that red little bottom L to the right of the bottom E is going to be a staircase. Let me hit save before we forget. And if I show you the shadow of the previous floor, do the hallway right there. So there's the previous floor, and we could put a staircase right about there, yeah. I could probably adjust it even more. Give me a second. I'm just gonna make a note for myself on this red colored layer. Let me delete this. So not here. That's not a good spot. But technically, we're gonna put a staircase. The staircase is technically right here. We could. What's my pencil tool? There we go. That is where we're gonna put the staircase. So within this gap. Yeah. That way we can avoid this bent hallway. So we'll probably rearrange this little area here, but that's the hallway. That's the staircase. In fact, you know what? Let me see if I can do a little adjustment to these walls right now. And then we'll draw a staircase later. Let me get the other layer in here, shadow-wise. That way I can see what I'm... There it is. There it is. It's right there. To about right there. That's right. I'm not gonna go too crazy because I'm gonna have to go back and edit the other layer anyway. So that's that. Just kind of figuring out kind of the shape we want. Color. That's the wrong tool again. Thank you. There we go. That's it. That's where the staircase is going to be. And we have this little interesting indent right there. And I can just draw some stuff in there. I can just draw a picture of whatever I want. $30. 32, 33, 34, 31. Nope, don't shrink it. Just move it. I'm just realigning that way I can see the numbers better. 24, 28. I said 24, 28. Yeah, baby. Heck yeah, baby. I want to say... grab these little guys because the TV's they're a little off. We're almost there, almost there. I'm doing little tweaks which I shouldn't do because I don't need to do these tweaks right now. But as you know, I'm seeing them now. Oh yeah, I need to actually let's flip around this there we go, let's flip him around. Enter. Let's move this down. Center that. Let me grab this random. So it's like an alien gun on an altar. You zoom in. When it prints, I'm not sure the details are gonna show up when it prints. but it's like a gun with an eye growing out the back of it. That's actually inspired by one of the pieces by our other artist, Ray. Why can't that unlock? Yeah, so the only thing that's off, and so the staircases, the elevators are all in place. The only thing that's off is the soul room. That's the only thing that's really off. But I was told not to worry too much about that because the whole idea is that the spaceship is like twisted and bent, so not every room is meant to look like it lines up. But yeah, I think we got it, guys. Oh. Let me hit file and save. My neck is all messed up. So this is it. Okay, we're back on track. You know, the map before this, technically map number 2, is done. I just gotta add the staircase. This map, pretty much done. Just gotta add the staircase and clean the details. But all the illustrations were okay to begin with. So that should be okay, and it should hopefully print out okay. It shouldn't be an issue. I mean, look at that empty space in the bottom. Jeez. The top is a bit thin. There's a lot of empty space in the bottom. But it makes sense. It makes sense spacing wise. So like I'm looking at it as if you were going to overlap the maps. You would never overlap these maps like in the book. Like in the art book, you wouldn't need to overlap them. So I could actually just move everything. Now that everything's mathematically lined up, I could move it down if I wanted to. But for now, we're leaving it for now. That's more for printing issues. But yeah, I think everything is good. In fact, a few changes I might do. Like, technically the back side of this wall right here should come in to match the fact that all the walls have all the outer walls are meant to be about 1/3 of the box. And these are just tweaks, which I should right now just go to bed and forget about. But if I see them now, I know about them now, and I won't forget about them. I say we're done. Save. We pause our music. Yeah. So this is what I've been working on. Not as consistently as I should. Otherwise I would be panicking this last week. But the fact that I could just go in tomorrow, finish the details on this, match up with the first map, it will be perfect. In conjunction with these two maps, one moment as I go through my files. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, there it is. So here's the first map technically, but this map is not a grid, it's a landscape map. So that's the spaceship we're in. Has a giant cannon on top, which does look a bit phallic. I might want to adjust that personally. There's a cannon on top. There's a giant hole near the front of the ship, which I need to add some shading in there. There's that soul tower bursting out of it. So this needs a bunch of small details. Not a grid, nothing like that. Just me drawing little details, the little bat, little animals like that. Uh, but this is kind of the basic idea. So then I'm gonna go back into this and drop in a bunch of small details. So we have that one, the second map. Sorry, that one, the second map. This is the third map, and then where are you? This is gonna be the fourth map. So essentially, I'm taking this garbage AI image. They used AI just to randomize the rooms. And I was instructed specifically not to ink the AI, not to adhere to it. Just use the AI for room layout and then do the rest myself. And frankly, that is perhaps the only proper use of AI in artwork. They told me forget the details in the AI, forget the garbage that's in it. They just used it to kind of randomize the room layouts. And luckily, this one spaced out the rooms in such a way where I could use the spacing at least to do better work with the hallways. So now that I know what the director wants, I could just draw the lines, get the hallways down, get the rooms down, and then the real time waster, the real time drainer will be drawing the different things in each room according to the book that he tells me. He informs us he has officially finished the actual like book, the actual rule book for the game, and the rule book tells you room 50 is the torture room, and that way I know what little details to put into those. So this is gonna take more time because it just needs everything. But now that I know what I need, now that I know what the layout is supposed to look like, it'll streamline the process a lot easier. And that's that. Let's end this with some funny, silly stuff. I have 3 new children, by the way. So let's have some fun. Give me a second. First things first. I'm going to grab the face cam real quick. So we'll lose a little bit of the... There we go. There we go. We might lose a little bit of the... It'll get a little pixelated. But just for shits and giggles. Excuse the language. I want to show you my children. I finally buckled down and did it. And I bought myself a space canoe. Transformer fans out there, this is Scourge. This is from the series, the 89 series. Basically, this is the supposed definitive like designs that are meant to look like the TV. I mean the movie versions of it. Give me a second. Got a chat just dropped in. It's a long chat. I'll think about that. Cyclonus, baby. No, not Cyclonus. Cyclonus is the jet, and he has an awesome design. But there's been like 3 different color variants, so I didn't want to go crazy looking for it. This is Scourge, the sweep, the space canoe. This little gun. He just turns into a flying freaking space canoe. But I wanted to get him because his robot mode is really cool. His robot mode is like a vampire. He has giant bat wings. And he has a goatee and a mustache. Can't say no to that. So I bought him because he's silly. It's such a stupid, simple design. You basically wrap the wings around his entire body. So I got that. Speaking of silly designs, and I actually made a video about this on Blue Sky. Kranix, the last survivor of his planet, who then gets eaten by Shocktakans. I bought Kranix. I had to, because I'm not gonna go into the crazy details of it now, especially on a camera that's not very good for a face cam. This is a silly. He's an amazing like representation of the actual like way he looks in the show, in the movie. His robot mode is a stupid like flying duck. Hey intern, his robot mode is like a jet that it's basically him as a jet. It's like a duck, has like a beak and like little wings, but it's actually really accurate to the original designs by Flora Derry, the guy who designed a bunch of the Transformer stuff. I love him because he is an engineering marvel. Because you shouldn't be able to you shouldn't even be able to transform this into anything. You shouldn't be able to transform this into anything. But he transforms very cleanly. Everything interlocks very well. And like, even though he's just like condensed into a version of himself that's just him as an airplane, there's no gaps, there's no holes in the airplane and the wings. I might even do a video on it just because it's a very interesting take on a character. Like, this guy shouldn't have worked as a transformer. And yeah, he also has a goatee and mustache. But yeah, it's. I was gushing. Pretorius Rex came to my house the other day when we were doing the puppet video, and I was just showing him like, look at this, look at that, like, kind of gushing over like how everything worked in this tiny, thin framed robot. So one guy is just cool robot that becomes a stupid space canoe, and then this cool robot that shouldn't transform that works. So in the movie they never transform; they're just robots. But in the original, you can find the original drawings by Flo Derry, who designed all the characters for the movie. And he designed alt modes for these guys, which is, like I said, it's just his head forward with a cockpit. So there's like a duck, and little wings that come out the side, and it's just take the robot, squish him, give him a cockpit for a nose. That was it. So there's a design for him. But in a more kind of closer to my heart, last but not least, I don't know. Well, this isn't considered. Is this Studio Series? I think this is Studio Series. Studio Series is meant to be like accurate to the way they look on screen. That's Studio Series. I'm not sure if this is that, but this is the first and only remake of Quick Strike. Beast Wars Quick Strike, who is a gold and like teal color Scorpion Cobra Fuzord. I have the original. The original is dear to my heart. It is such a simple transformation for the original. And the original had a gimmick where there was actually a water bladder that you would squeeze and the snake would spit water. Beast Wars had a lot of cool gimmicks that were like water guns and spring-loaded gimmicks. The new toys don't have spring-loaded gimmicks. They don't have water guns. He's very articulated, very well done. And the transformation is just like a modern version of his original simple transformation, which is like you take the snake, you take the legs, they all rotate sideways, the whole body folds in half, and there's the robot. This one is like a kind of slightly more complicated version of that. But I love it, man. Freaking Quick Strike. Like, I love the concept of the Fuzords. Beast Wars tried a lot of crazy stuff, concept-wise. All the Fuzords were just mixed animals. Design-wise, in terms of how they transformed and how they handled their kibble. You know, kibble is just all the stuff you get on a Transformer. You get a Transformer, and so, you know, this guy has no freaking kibble. No freaking kibble, which is beautiful. Meanwhile, this guy, all his kibble, the entire shell becomes bat wings. But Beast Wars, their kibble was like giant tarantula. What if his arms had all the tarantula like extensions? Like, Beast Wars did a really good job with kibble, but their concepts were great. And I'm gonna say right now, I would love to see Fuzords in like the modern Transformers, which in itself is just cars and jets. Like, I want a motorcycle that has jet wings or like a jet turbine built into it. I want to see construction machines that have like tank guns sticking out of them. Like, I want to see Fuzords of like basically two machines merged together that are meant to be freaks. They're meant to be like freaks. That's the whole idea. But yeah, anyway, that's me gushing. I bought these over the last month, maybe a month and a half ago, and I love them. I love them. I had to get Quick Strike because I wanted to get the newest and only version that we're ever gonna make of him. I had to get Krennic because he's just like, dude, he shows up at the beginning of the movie and then he gets eaten alive. Like, come on. And then I had to get Scourge because Scourge is technically a what they call a army builder. Because there's Scourge and then there's the Sweeps, which is just him and two other people. They're like the new versions of the original Jets. Starscream, Thundercracker. It's all the same Transformer painted differently. Scourge is him, and he has two characters called the Sweeps. But if you watch the movie, there's scenes of like 15 sweeps in the sky. Bullshit. But yeah, he's technically an army builder. You were supposed to buy him, and then you could buy him like 5 more times. I'm not gonna freaking do that. This guy was like almost $30. And he does have a gimmick because there's like one scene in the movie where his head pops out. So it's their body, and his head just kind of pops out. And there is like it's an instruction book. There's like an alt mode where you can like rearrange him. So it's this with his head sticking out. It's so stupid. I love it. So stupid. That's what happens. Like I think I've seen the movie 100 times. I know for a fact. It's Krennic and some other nameless dude. And they get like one line where it's like, run to the ships! But they get on 2 different ships. So you see Krennic get away, but his buddy flies up to the camera and then gets pulled back in, and you hear him screaming. And it's a really jumbled scene. You have to watch like 100 times to actually see what's going on. But that's what happens. Fun stupid fact. Apparently there's a in the 3rd season, like I have to go and find the episode. But in the 3rd season, when they return to the planet of junk a few times, those are the Junkions. Once again, well, a few of my favorite guys just for the concept of them. They all turn to motorcycles and they can mix and match their own body parts. They're made of junk. There is a scene, one scene, where like Retgar, the lead of the Junkions, is sitting back in a chair, and apparently he has like a queen. Like there's a woman sitting next to him, and it's the only time you ever see a female Junkion ever. Is him sitting back and they're watching TV, because that's what they do, and she's sitting next to him, but her head sculpture is this. Like her head sculpt, they obviously just reused like art. They reused art assets, even though it was all drawn by hand. They needed a design for a robot, so they flipped through the books, found Flora Dairy's designs. So it's a Junkion, but she looks like a female version of this guy's species. She shows up in one episode, and she has like the headpiece of this guy, but she's a Junkion. So it's like I don't know, make your own fan theory. Maybe she's another survivor of that species. I don't know. But I'm going to stop because I'm going to keep going. You guys know I could go on forever for this. But I love these toys. And I might do a video just of this dude. Just to like gush over the design aspects. They know what they're doing. Like the actual guys who put effort into designing these. Yeah, they're selling toys. They're all toys. But these are designers. Like actually figuring out how the hell do you make this guy transform, That ends our session of Dante's Ramble of the night. Put this right back there. Lucky place. So, Red Spectre, thank you for jumping in. Katorius Rex, thank you for jumping in. And what is that? McMatattack, which is most likely a bot, but thank you for joining in anyway. Yeah, doing this I'm gonna get back to the flow, at least of this project. I gotta get this project done. So hopefully, if I get back to the flow, maybe next weekend I'll also, if fingers crossed, next weekend if I do one more stream, it'll hopefully be the end of these maps as they are now, and then I'll send them out to the editor, and then he'll probably give me more adjustments to do. But I was told September is the semi-deadline. They want to get these printed by September. They didn't get a date as to when. But we'll see what happens. That is that. So, once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.